welcome to Hidden Self. My name is Chris, and today I want to talk to you about a couple of things that I think many of us are finding quite troubling. But I also wanted to kind of put a framework around these subjects. And those subjects are the current drought in Australia, the bushfires in Australia, but also the attitude of the federal government, our government, because I just find it pretty perplexing. Now, I think it's easy to criticise. It's like, identifying what you're not doing versus what you have done. But in the case of this federal government, something that has quite clearly catastrophic consequences, like global warming, and they're absolutely doing nothing about it apart from lying to us. I think that's a problem. Now, to kind of get underneath this, I want to do a thought experiment. I want us to imagine that it's 1939 and we're in Australia, and we hear these reports about an enemy force that's ravaging through different countries through Europe and exterminating all the occupancies in those countries. And there's reports that they're not going to just stop at Europe. In fact, they're going to team up and they're going to kind of try and conquer the world. And our Defence Minister, let's call him Craig Kelly at the time, opens his garden window, looks out and says, well, there's no evidence of Nazis in my garden, therefore, I'm going to dismiss those claims. Now, for me, the consequence of that attitude can be quite severe. But in addition to that, by me actually, or for him then to turn around and say, well, actually, let's go and look for some evidence about this enemy force because we need to prepare. Now, by that attitude, by kind of recognising that there's a risk, I'm going to have to do something about it. There's a consequence to that knowledge. Now, I might have to send people off to die, soldiers off to battle. I might have to re-engineer. I might have to look at how we're actually sort of living the way our current life is. And so there's an impact to that as well. And that takes a lot of strength. But the thing is, I'm serving the people because I'm providing them information and knowledge that we're reacting to, as opposed to looking outside my bedroom window and going, there's no Nazis in the garden, therefore there's no evidence of the Nazis existing, and I'll adopt that attitude. Now the question would be, why is that? Why would somebody adopt that attitude? Well, it could be that they're in collusion with the enemy. They're scared of looking at the actual real world, or they're benefiting from that attitude in some way. Now, the thing is, we are, in today's world, facing an enemy force that has the ability to cause our extinction. Now, whether or not that's in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, it will happen if we don't do anything about it. Now, for the attitude of the Australian government to adopt, carbon emissions, we're not going to reduce that, we're doing enough, which is absolutely false. Right? There's, and even this Craig Kelly guy, an MP, is a climate denier. Now, I want to tell you a story. It's a true story. On December the 4th, 2019, when bushfires were ravaging this country, where this guy attends a conference in Australia whose tagline is the voice of Australia's oil and gas industry, and says this comment at the conference. Now, I don't know about you, but who is that statement serving? Is it serving the people of Hughes? Is it supporting the people of New South Wales? Is it supporting the people of Australia? Now, my other question is, who paid for that? Because if it's not serving us, We, the taxpayer, paid for him. But who's benefiting? Who's paying him? Now, if this guy is in denial about global warming, climate change, but now he's sponsoring the excessive use of fossil fuels, so he's now exacerbating the problem, he's actually causing more of the problem, he should be let go.